All right, so we're talking about reviews, and I'm going to share a little bit of info, some research, some stuff I've looked into, and we need to start back in the beginning though. So we're going to talk about pretty much everything to do with reviews and testimonials in your business, and we all know that Google review is so valuable. Being able to gain more Google reviews, especially with moving companies, Google is the main thing. Yelp. Who cares? In my opinion, I don't care about Yelp reviews. The Yelp seems to take them down a lot, even if they're good. And Facebook is probably the next best one. But anything I talk about today is solely about and around Google reviews. Now, some of the thought process and the concepts you can apply to any type of review. So let's talk about the different rankings of testimonials. So one, how does a potential customer know that you're great at your service? Well, they leverage and they look at reviews. So let's talk about, there's 4 rankings, and I'm going to start with the least effective and go towards the best. So the first thing that you could do is you, as the business, could tell that potential customer how good you are. Okay, that's the least effective. And that's the most common, is that we're promoting ourselves, right? And of course you're going to talk well about your business. I've never met a business owner that spoke poorly about theirs. And I'd be sad if I did, right? So the first way is just telling them. The second rank is showing them. So how could we show them? Well, we could potentially do, and this isn't something that I really don't see anybody doing. If I were trying to build reviews and trying to build testimonials, you could take your computer and you could screen share your computer just like I am with a video. And I would do a side-by-side comparison of a great story of a customer that got an estimate for X amount of dollars, but then on the day of the move, the price ended up being lower, and recording that and talking over that video. So showing how here was their inventory. This is what we quoted. We quoted them $1,550. Then on the day of the move, it ended up, our guys worked faster. We ended up only charging them $1,250. That would be a great piece of visual content that you could use to show a customer that you're great at your service. The next one, this is where we start getting far better, is other people telling the potential customer to use us. So this is where we start leveraging an actual review or maybe a video testimonial. And this is good because when other people are promoting you, right, that means that it's real. It means that it's true, because some other person wouldn't just tell you that, such and such movers were great unless they actually experienced it, right? But then the number one way to leverage a potential customer with a review or testimonial is having other people they know telling them. So that would be the instance of, let's say I am looking for a moving service or whatever service. You can apply this to anything. It's all just basic business. Maybe I'm looking for a mover, and my brother, I don't have a brother, but let's say I did. My brother tells me, oh, you got to use, such and such movers. We used them 6 months ago. They were awesome. How likely am I to then book with that company? Extremely likely. That is the hands down best way to gain the trust of a client, leveraging a review or testimonial. Because one, they already trust that person. So that's the biggest battle, is trust, right? You yourself can tell them, but they know that you're trying to sell them. However, when other people tell them and people that they know tell them, then what that means is it's basically like you're selling them, but you don't have to sell them now because these testimonials sell them. So that's the 4 different ranks on how you could leverage a review or testimonial. So how do we get more reviews? and testimonials? Well, there's three steps in my opinion. First and foremost, you got to do great work. You got to perform, because if not, the whole ship goes underwater. This is the crimp in the hourglass. You have to do excellent work. You have to provide amazing service consistently, time and time again. So this is hands down, you have to perform. So I think we all understand that. And that's attention to detail. Don't get complacent. If you've been around for a while and your business is pretty good and you're making money, still try to find ways. How can we make it better? How can we make it better for the customer? So do great work. Number two is ask. This is what I'm astonished. Not enough people do this. How do you have so many Google reviews? Well, we ask, right? We ask. And you'd be surprised how far just asking goes. Now, there's a right way to ask and there's a wrong way to ask. The back of our mind, we think, we don't want to bother them, or we don't want to be a nuisance. It's like, no. Like, you provided these people with a service, and if you performed very good and you provided great service for a great value, then absolutely you should ask. And so simply just asking. And the best way to ask, in my opinion, is via text or through the phone or in person. Either one of those. When you finish a job, right? These are people that are past clients. You're asking for a review. So the next step is make it easy for them. Okay. How can we make it very easy? Well, if you just open up your Google My Business listing, right? You should have that on a mobile app on your phone. You can literally, about 3 clicks of a button, text them the link for a Google review. That makes it very easy. Even better is going through your Google reviews and find the very best one, like the best one, and actually sending that, maybe like in a screenshot, sending that as well and saying, here's an example of what one of our 5-star reviews looks like. And I'm going to talk in a minute about what are the key components in that, but how great is that to send them an example, a sample of a review, so that way it actually helps them. They can see what someone else wrote. They can see some of the things they mentioned, whether it was the timeliness of when the guys showed up, how funny they were, how hard they worked, the care they had for their stuff, all these different things, and how well-mannered they were. And you can present a sample. So that, again, it makes it easier for the customer, right? We want to make this process as simple and as streamlined as we can. The next thing is benchmarks. Okay, so what are some goals in place? There are things in business called KPIs. It's called a key performance indicator. And with your moving business, there's 2 things, quality and quantity, that you should be leveraging and be looking at in your KPI report. Okay, we'll have another video. We'll talk all about KPIs. So if you don't know anything about that, don't worry about it. But first, quality. Okay, in my opinion, minimum 4.5 out of 5. If you're 4 out of 5 stars, I'm sure you're fine, right? But what I know is, if you're 4 out of 5 stars and you maybe have, let's say you have 30 reviews, I know that there's some bad ones in there to make it 4 out of 5. So our quality, we really want to strive for 4.5 out of 5. Obviously, we want 5 out of 5. But every 1 out of 10 customers is going to be a difficult customer. That's just business. There are difficult people out there, and we try to do a good job of screening those people and knowing what type of personalities we're working with. But in my opinion, your 4.5 out of 5 star rating is the benchmark. That is where you want to be, because when you think of it as a customer, imagine you going online and looking for a service, whether it was a roofer or a painter, somebody that does fencing, plumber. That's usually what I look for. If I see 4.5 and above, I'm kind of like, okay, that's good. Like, that's really good. If I see 4, I'm like, yeah, I'll give them a call. And if it's under 4, I really probably won't call them, just because I have a feeling, this might be hit or miss. So that, to me, is the benchmark on quality. The next part is quantity. So if you look, just research your market. put in a Google search engine, movers near, whatever your city is, and sit there and count how many businesses have over 50 reviews. Okay. If you're in a very competitive market, very urban area, high population, could be several. If you're in a smaller area, there may be none. There might only be one, right? Then the next thing I want you to look at is how many companies have over 100 reviews. All right. Some people have this misconception that, oh, well, it takes years to build that many reviews. No, it doesn't. I have a client right now that we're working with in North Carolina, been in business for probably 4 to 5 months. They already have 71 reviews. 71. Okay. It doesn't have to take years. You just need to execute the proper plan. So in my opinion, these are the two benchmarks for quantity. So your first goal when you open up your moving company, you want to get to 50 as fast as possible. There's a lot of people between that 10 to 30 review number range, and you just want to separate yourself as quickly as you can from the minutia, is what I call it. And the second goal is to get over 100. I think when you go to triple digits, it just kind of becomes, because in my opinion, 100 reviews versus 100 or 200 reviews, like they're almost in the same category. It's so many at that point that, you know, you just know, wow, okay, they're obviously doing a lot of business. So next thing is something that I really don't think many people are aware of. Not many people are teaching this. And so this is something that I've done a lot of research into. Actually, the information I'm giving you is from a study that some digital agency owners did from 500 different reviews from local businesses. So I believe all this information here that I'm about to show you is tried and true. So when you go on, let's say, actually, let's just show you. So if I open up, let's say I Google movers near Charlotte, North Carolina, and I click their little thing there. I scroll down and I see, you know, the reviews. Well, you're going to see an overall rating. You're going to see a number of reviews, and it's also going to give you a little color breakdown chart of a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1 review. Now, Google is going to show you right here 3 reviews. Okay. Now, my question is, how does Google know which ones to show? Well, it by default shows you the top 3 most relevant. So if I scroll down and hit more Google reviews, you'll see right here it says sort by most relevant. That is default across the board. You cannot change it. Okay, now there is different things that someone could go in here and click. I don't think many people are going to go and read 20 of your reviews, but they're certainly going to read these 3, hands down. So what are the factors that go into that ranking for the most relevant reviews? So let's talk about that. I'm going to click back over here and then we'll jump back. Okay. Most relevant. Okay. Number 1, there's 5. Okay. Number 1 is length, the number of words in the review. A lot of people think, and this is funny, I'm going to show you an example. A lot of owners think, oh, Google just puts like a 1 out of 5 star review. That's the one that they show. That is not true. Okay. Typically what you will see is a really bad review that's like 1 out of 5 stars has a very long text, and there's a story behind it as well. That's one of these factors. That is why the review ends up going in that most relevant top 3. Okay, so what we want to do, and this is what I was talking about, why we want to screenshot one of our best reviews and send it to that past client, so it gives them an example. And you can even ask like, hey, you know, when you write your review, you know, if you would make it at least 4 sentences long, and mention our business name and just a quick story from our service and our walk together, however you want to word that. but it's directing the customer to what you want them to do because these things matter. So length is one of the factors. The second one is keywords. And so basically that's your business name being mentioned in the review. So that will make it into that most relevant. Again, you can ask you can put that into your system of asking the customer to mention the business name. Number 3 is specific. So when there's a specific story rather than general content would be the guy showed up on time and they worked really hard, did a great job. I would recommend them. Like that's kind of general. A story is like a specific thing that happened, and that is going to jump up into that most relevant. Number 4 is local. What that means is a review by a user that has left reviews at other local businesses in your market. That will also rank into that most relevant. Someone that has never left a review, theirs won't probably be as likely to jump up. And the number 5 is time. Okay, so the more time that passes and goes along makes that review less relevant. What you will typically see, this depends on the number of reviews that you have, but reviews that are within the last few months. So it might be a review from 5 days ago, a review from 2 weeks ago, and a review from like 3 months ago. So let me show you. I've got 3 businesses pulled up here, and I want to show you a couple examples. So this company we were shown before, they have pretty good rating, 4.7 out of 5. But let's talk about, here we go. This is what I want to show you. These are the 3 most relevant reviews right now. So this one was 5 days ago. It's a 1 out of 5. Look how long this review is. Very long. It has a specific story, and this is going to rank because it's timely. It has a lot of length and has a specific story. This person has left 1 review in the market, so they haven't left a lot of reviews. This person has left 3 reviews. This was a month ago, so pretty recent. And then look at the length on that. Okay, very specific. So you're seeing a commonality here. One factor that does not have a doesn't have an influence on this most relevant ranking is the response by the owner. That has no influence on this. Okay. However, you should be responding to all the reviews. Okay. Which I actually don't like how the 1 out of 5 stars, this was 5 days ago. This company, if I was coaching them, I would want them to be leaving a comment there. And then let's look at this third one. This was 3 months ago. And again, pretty good length. This is probably 4 or 5 sentences, and they've got, a pretty good story there. They're talking about my elderly mother hired them, right? I'm a real estate professional. Let me show you a different example. Here's a company. Where's this at? Birmingham, Alabama. Little poorer ranking. They 3 stars. They've got a lot of 1-star reviews. Okay, 26 total reviews. Let's see how theirs rank in the most relevant. So the first one, 1 out of 5 stars, and not super long, but it was a month ago. And I will tell you, if you only have 20 or 30 reviews, a review from a week ago or a month ago it'll rank on that most relevant because you're not getting enough reviews. Here's a review from 11 months ago. Wow, that's a long time ago. Here's why. Look at the length. Extremely long, very detailed. Also includes the business name. Okay, we talked about that being a factor, and there's a picture. Very, very relevant. Now this is a review from 4 weeks ago. These are all 1 out of 5 star reviews. And here's just another review. It's recent, 4 weeks ago, and it's about a paragraph. Last company I want to show you, this company is in Altoona, PA. They have similar number of reviews as the last one. The ranking is a little better, 3.8 out of 5. But let's look at their most relevant. They have, from 2 weeks ago, a 5 out of 5 star review. Very good. From 1 month ago, they have a 5 out of 5 star review. Very good. 3 or 4 sentences. And then from 4 weeks ago, they have a 5-star review. So you see that the timeliness is definitely relevant here. If we click into this company's when we click all their reviews, and if I scroll, I'm looking for the poor ones. So that's a 4-star, only a little bit of text. Okay. What else can we find here? Here's a 1-star review. This one was from 2 years ago, though. See, that one it's not as relevant now because it's been several years. Here's another one, but it was from a year ago. Here's another one, but it was 2 years ago. You see the trend? The trend is these factors that I'm talking about. It's time. It is, is the person local in the area writing reviews? Is it specific? Is there a story? Is there a narrative? Is your business name mentioned in the review? How long is the review? So these are all major key factors. Again, a lot of information here about reviews, but this is the stuff that you need to master. You need to know and take this with you. Equip yourself, get a plan together, and it's a big part of your business. You really need to hone in on this factor, because if not, you could be having a lot of business just walk right by you. So go crush it. I'll see you guys at the top, and I'll catch you on the next video.